learner is much like any boy on the block, but inside he's eaten away with resentment and a desperate urge to get even.
Where's your folder? It's over there? Oh, I'm sorry, you got it. I got it.
Definition of mentally ill. According to NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness, a mental illness is a condition that impacts a person's thinking, feeling, or mood, and it may affect his or her ability to relate to others and function on a daily basis. Each person will have different experiences, even people with the same diagnosis. Click again. Challenges faced by the mentally ill, stigma. So it's almost like stereotypes, but like a different word for it. Because of the lack of awareness in Hollywood movie productions, the stereotypes against the mentally ill seem to be getting worse and worse. Some of our favorite movies, like, where did I leave off? Some of our favorite movies and TV series portray a bad light on them. Movies like Friday the 13th and Hannibal Lecter show psychopaths. And also one of the most watched TV series, American Horror Story. And then they had a series called Asylum. Although it is true, people who are diagnosed as mentally ill can act out at times. Jeffrey Dahmer, Dennis Nelson, and Ted Bundy. It's extreme cases like these that attract the most attention. So these cases don't always happen, but these are people who they weren't diagnosed correctly, or they weren't given enough attention on like what type of mental illnesses they had, and they ended up acting out on it, and it made like a really big like news media attention case. Next. Challenges faced by the mentally ill, the lack of resources. So support from society, family, friends, and community. What I mean by that is people tend to judge them before they get to know them, like, oh, this person's automatically crazy because they're bipolar. No, they tend to become crazy when they're off their meds or they're not doing the certain things like going to therapy like they should be. Decrease in treatment facilities, like they're closing down mentally ill, like, I don't want to call them asylums, so it's kind of a neat name, but they are closing them down. And they have a large rate of unemployment due to discrimination because people don't want to employ them because they're supposed to be mentally ill. Next. Impact of society not addressing the severe needs of the mentally ill, the prison and jail system. So according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, only 60% of the mentally ill in the state and federal prisons are reported receiving mental health treatment while they're in jail. So that's 40% of people not receiving their meds, not receiving counseling while they're in jail. That's a really large amount of people, and you want to help. You're supposed to be trying to help them while they're in jail. Mentally ill state prison inmates were more than twice as likely as other inmates to report living on the street or in shelter within the last 12 months. So they're not getting help while they're in prison, so by the time that they get out of prison, they're homeless. Impact to society, not addressing disabilities. Disability. Out of the 740, so this is also the Bureau of Justice Statistics, out of 774,000 homeless people on any given night, 40 to 45% of them are mentally ill. So a large percent of our homeless people are mentally ill people, and this is not only our failure to give back to the community, but this is also our failure as a society to kind of address the needs of what the mentally ill people are not receiving. An estimated of 40 to 45% of our homeless suffer from active mental disorders. These are disorders like bipolar disorder, clinical depression, schizophrenia, and severe personality disorders. Treatment. What happens if they don't take their medicine? These are the three main reasons why people with mental disorders stop taking their medicine, and I'm sure y'all probably heard of this. They feel like their medication isn't working, and their mental illness, convinces them, to stop taking it. So they'll feel like they're not receiving the help that they need from the treatment, so they'll stop taking it, and it causes them to lash out. Their medication is working, but the side effects are intolerable. Like my grandmother, she has schizophrenia, and the medication that she takes at night, whenever she lays down in bed, it'll make her legs move. So sometimes my mom has to convince her to keep on taking the medicine because it's irritable to her that her legs always move during the night. The third reason is their medication is working, they're experiencing wellness, so they think they no longer need their medication. So they're like, oh, I'm all better, I don't need this anymore, so I'm going to stop taking it. And the consequences of this are the mentally ill patient will get sicker and can end up hurting themselves or another person. And this leads to the extreme cases like Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy and all the mentally ill people we see lashing out. Next. How it helps stabilize people with who have mental illnesses. The first step to getting treatment is realizing something isn't right and they need to get help. Treatment through the use of medication, community support, and counseling can help support them socially. It can also keep them balanced mentally, emotionally, and physically. Next again. Thank you. I hope I gave you insight to the struggles that are faced from the mentally ill on a daily basis. Yep.